Hello and welcome to the Back Nine Report. My name is Carlos Torres, along with Altvater. We check in on the world of golf to bring you the latest news, insights, analysis, interviews, recaps, previews. Here we cover anything and everything golf. In other words, if it happened in golf, we have it for you. Fred, I think there was some golf this weekend. We have to talk about something.
I caught just a little bit of it on TV about, I don't know, maybe 25 or 26 hours, maybe, or something of it. Yeah, Masters was on. Hey, Carlos, before we get started talking about the Masters, though, I want to remind everybody that there's like 4 days left. So the 15th, April 15th is the end of the Firestone giveaway. So you got 3 rounds there, around on each of the courses, the North course, the historic South course, and the Fazio course. 2-night stay on property for a twosome. We're giving that away. All you got to do is go to Ohio Golf Journal, Michigan Golf Journal, or Indiana Golf Journal, click on there, fill out the thing, and you're in. So sign up, and we're going to have the drawing on the 16th, actually. So 15th is the last day. So yeah, Carlos, the Masters, I really enjoyed watching it. I have to say, though, I didn't enjoy the weather on Friday and Saturday. It made it really tough to watch. It's too bad. Sunday was glorious. So the weather was wonderful. There's birdies every place. That's the way the Masters should be, right there. What a fun deal to watch on Sunday.
Oh, most definitely. But I mean, it was Masters. Sunday is like a no other. Well, it's a tradition like no other. That's what they talk about the Masters, right? But I got to go back and say it was only last September that Scottie Scheffler was Steve Stricker captain pick just a few months ago. He was ranked 21st in the world. He had not yet broken through for a maiden win on the PGA Tour. But hey, he was among the most consistent players. In 2021, the 25-year-old did not finish outside the top 20 in any major. That record included 3 top 10s, which is why Stricker said, hey, you are in the Ryder Cup team. So now Scheffler is the leader of the pack. After the newly crowned #1 won his first major by coasting to a 3-shot win at Augusta, it was his 4th tournament victory in 6 starts. If you want to count the days, how many? 57 days. 57 days, 4 majors, $10 million. I dare to see which other athlete can win $10 million in 57 days. I mean, I started looking at it by contract. Yeah, for a year, for 6 months, 8 months, 57 days, no one. But this is such a run that he is in. The Tiger Woods, he didn't think that, hey, this is a special run. You know how special? So special that no one since Tiger himself has matched it. He's the first player since Tiger Woods to have won 4 times on the PGA Tour, and that will include a major and a WGC event. Tiger did it like 8 times, but yeah, the thing is that nobody else had done it. He's the first one to do it. So he was able to be the winner here. He's the first to win 4 times in the PGA Tour season by the end of the Masters since David Duval did that very run in 1999, the second since Wood in 2002, to win at Augusta since a world #1 and the first Australian. First since Australian Jason Day did it in 2015 to win 4 times in a 6-start stretch on the PGA Tour. So, Fred, before I keep talking about Scottie Scheffler, this is an amazing run so far. There are still a lot of people that would say, hey, can he keep replicating this? Can he really keep going and be this type of player? We haven't seen this in such a long while, because it's so rare. And especially, I think the challenge that people have is that he's not this flashy player, right? He's not this, I'm not going to say sexy because that's not the word, but golf sexy, let's put it that way. He's not a big athlete, Dustin Johnson. He's not JT. He's not Jordan Spieth. He's not Rory McIlroy, not even Tiger Woods. So in a world where golf is searching for who's going to be the next Tiger Woods, or at least someone that's going to take care of the mantle of that world #1 that is going to carry on, Scottie doesn't seem to be that one. But playing wise, it's very hard to argue how he's not going to keep this going. But so far, let's focus on the Masters. He dominated. He did it like nobody else. I mean, he was by 5 until where else do you 4-putt to win a Masters?
Yeah.
It's nowhere else. That's how much he dominated this tournament.
Yeah, 5-shot lead going in the last hole. That's not too bad, is it? The short answer to your question is no. The odds would say there is no way that this can continue to happen. And I'm going to say I want to lean to the part that Scottie Scheffler is going to be very good, and he's going to have to learn now to manage his schedule and just aim to the big events and not play all over all the time and not grab for every dollar that's out there, because he's made more money in the last 3 months than he's ever going to need the rest of his life, or his kids are ever going to need, if he manages it right. So, hopefully his management team will keep him on the right path and focus on the golf. Now, the other side of that is the guy has tremendous talent. He knows how to win. One of the coolest stats that they gave over the weekend that I had no clue about was that he had won 90 out of 120 junior tournaments. And that's including, he got so dominant in his age group, they bumped him up an age group, and he still kept beating the older kids. 90 out of 120. That does not happen. I don't know if you've been to any junior golf tournaments lately, Carlos, but these kids are good. We're not talking about a bunch of rummies out there playing golf at junior golf. By the time these kids get in high school, they are they're shooting in the 70s, right? I mean, if you got 30 kids in your bracket, 10 or 15 of those kids could win because they're that good if they have a good day. So, that's an amazing stat to me. He knows how to win. He won on the Korn Ferry Tour. He was number 1. He was Rookie of the Year when he came up on the PGA Tour. He knows all this stuff. And so we make a big deal about him jumping to number 1 real fast. Well, it's a 2-year rolling average. That means he was playing really well last year. He just didn't win. Like you just documented, he had all those top 10s in the majors, top 20s. He had all these, he had a lot of top 10 finishes last year. He just didn't have any wins. So when he gets the wins, boom, he jumps right up. It looks like he went there fast, but it's been building over 2 years. We've been watching it. And we said, after the Ryder Cup, this is exactly what this guy needs. And then what I've been talking about, you throw in Ted Scott into that mix. And it was so cool. You could hear them talk so much during the tournament. And Ted was guiding him around there and talking about the shots, not just the yardage, talking about what they want to do and how they want to play this and keeping him loose and keeping him focused. And Scottie was just, Scheffler was just, Ted Scott was leading him around there just like he needed to do. And it was absolutely amazing. That was not his first rodeo. That's Ted Scott's 3rd Masters title. So, that's a good team right there. As long as Ted Scott's going to be around, I think that's really going to make Scottie Scheffler all that much better as well. So, I wanted to make that point about Ted Scott. I also want to say that Scheffler's short game was by far the best. It was phenomenal. When he missed a green or he was out of position, that short game got him back in there time after time. The short game saved him on Sunday on 1 and 2 when he was out of position off the tee. The short game at least got him pars. Yes, Cam Smith was making birdies, but he was making pars and staying in there. And then on 3, that phenomenal chip in for birdie. And I've told you, Carlos, how many times number 3, I think, is the coolest hole on Augusta National. Number 12 gets all the press, 13, Amen Corner, all that stuff. But number 3 is the coolest hole. And now they've even made the bank in front of the green steeper. That thing is like the side of a building coming down there. And both those guys, Smith and Scheffler, both left their little chip shot short. And they were in perfect position. I know I look bad on TV, but that's exactly the spot you want to be coming in from, to the left front of that green. Because then you have an angle, because that green sets at that angle. And you've got the whole green to work with it. All Smith, this was Smith's number 1 mistake. He had to get that chip shot up on the green, past the hole. Should never have left that short. That's where he lost the tournament right there. Well, that and the double bogeys on Thursday, but on 118. But that shot right there, because he was putting the pressure on Scheffler, and if he could have made birdie or par there, and Scheffler would have made bogey, which he was looking like he was going to, that really would have put the pressure on him on the rest of the holes. But when Smith left that shot short, that changed the complexion of the whole round right there. So, and I wanted to make the point, like with Scheffler with his short game, how many times over the years did we see Tiger Woods on days he didn't have his best shot stuff? It looked like he should have been shooting a 75, but he turned it into a 70 or 71 because of this chipping and putting. His short game was always phenomenal. From 100 or 150 yards in, he was dynamite. And that's exactly what Scheffler is right now. When Dustin Johnson ascended to number one, what did he fix? He fixed his short game. He became a really great chipper. So, just 25 years old now, Carlos, in his third year on tour, looks like maybe he's stepped ahead of Xander Schauffele, ahead of Collin Morikawa, maybe ahead of Jon Rahm and Rory. How long can this run last? Well, I answered it earlier. I don't know that it's going to last too long. I think we're going to see him win once or twice a year, and I think we're going to see him contend in the majors. So it's really hard to win major championships. He really dominated this week and showed us what he can do. But, the guy's got to take a deep breath now and just, I don't know if he can keep going at the same rate he's going, but and I have to eat crow because I said that he would not be number one after this week. I was certain that Jon Rahm was going to have a good week and go back around him. And Scheffler, coming off those wins, would probably be out of gas and falter. Just the opposite happened. Rahm didn't get it done, and Scheffler just continued on his run.
He does, and we talked about this when he won, after he won his last tournament.
WGC.
Yes. So the WGC. So we said, we talked about whether he was going to continue on this run. And one of the things that I mentioned was, I think so, because I don't think he's this kind of a player that's going to change. My only concern, and I mentioned this about other top players that have gone on the top, and then all of a sudden they say, well, let me tweak this around, like what happened to Jordan Spieth. He started to get longer and all this stuff. He was the number one player in the world. He had everything going. We have seen it with so many players tinker with their swing. And maybe Brendan Chambly heard me talking about that, because he started talking about that the other day. He was saying, well, he doesn't think this is going to happen with him because he's not a person that seems like he cares about that play.
There's so much stuff to fix in Scottie Scheffler's golf swing that he can't tweak it. I mean, it would completely throw him off if he tried to do something different. That footwork is completely unique to him.
It is, and he mentioned, that it was like Arnie, that didn't have that orthodox swing, but look at what he did, And the best thing that Scottie Scheffler has, he's not one of the longest players, but he's long enough. He's not the best short player, but what he did prove, his scrambling is off the charts, and that's where he won here, because he's not the most accurate. He's 131st in the world right now in accuracy of the tee. So it doesn't mean that he's that good. He's gonna get in trouble, but he knows how to get out of trouble. But more of that is he has the mentality, which is the thing that I said that it was gonna take him here to be a good player or try to win. Is that, hey, he does have the mentality. His game suits everywhere. His game travels. I think this is not going to be the end of it. I think it's just going to get started, and because he keeps improving and he keeps gaining more confidence. Hey, can I win the WGC? Checked. Okay. Can I win a major? Checked. What's next? Win again. And we'll continue to see. I'm going to pass it on to you. But he's not Jon Rahm. He's not Jordan Spieth. He's not Dustin Johnson or Rory McIlroy. He's Scottie Scheffler. Is different, but overall, he has the type of play that can win everywhere.
The problem is now, though, there were no expectations, right? He just, matter of fact, he told his wife before during Sunday morning early, he says, I don't know if I'm ready for this. And she told him, listen, it doesn't matter. If you win, lose, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to love you when you come home tonight. It doesn't matter. We're a family. We're good. We got, we're okay. Everything's okay. Our health is good. Just go play. Just have a good time. But now here's what's going to happen. Now he's won a major. Now the media is going to be all over him. Now the expectations are that Scottie Scheffler is the guy to watch for. He's the guy to gun for. And he's going to put the expectations on himself. And when he's not perfect or when it's not going his way, he'll get frustrated. And so that's when Ted Scott really earns his money, is to keep him focused and keep him going. But the expectations is what's going to create a problem that he'll have to work through going forward now.
We'll see. I think he's very grounded. He's very different than all of these other players that have reached number one so far. And one of the things that he does have to care about is, like you're mentioning, the attention is going to be on him. And we know what happened to Jordan Spieth when he started saying yes to everything. He has to start saying no sometimes, and I think he'll be able to do that. But anyway, we got to talk about also the guy that was the story coming into the tournament, which was Tiger Woods. I mean, he made just history, I would say, just by playing here after that horrific car crash last year, just 14 months ago. And he was able to play, and not only play on that leg on this hilly course, but he made the cut, and he teased us that first day, which made us think, oh my God, he can really make it. I mean, that round one, look, yeah, it wasn't perfect. He was 1 under 3 times, and that's how he finished. Then he was those 278s on Sunday and Saturday to finish at 13 over his highest score ever in the Masters. But I think he showed us he can still play on a limited basis, but I think it's not the last time that we're going to see him. He doesn't look like a guy that's ready to get retired. He just looks like a guy that wants to play on the big time tournaments, and he's going to pick his spots here and there. And maybe, who knows, he already committed to the Open Championship in St. Andrews, which compared to this is like a flat all over the place. So he should be ready. There's 3 months still to go for that. So looking forward to see what he does, and maybe we can see him before that. What do you think about his performance and what to expect from Tiger Woods?
Well, we were just sitting. I mean, we've been talking for the last 6 weeks, Willie, or since the PNC last in December. You think he'll try to play in the Masters. You think he's going to do that. Well, and I said, there's no way. There's no way. It's too hilly. He cannot walk that. It just can't be done. Well, he did walk it for 72 holes, but he clearly ran out of gas, and he clearly just not in good enough shape, clearly dragging that foot around, clearly difficult on some shots, side hill lies, especially downhill lies. He had some trouble with those. But to just, Carlos, to make the cut, to do what he did on Thursday, I mean, he basically had a 76 round on Thursday, but again, his short game, he turned it into a 71. So, and I thought, well, wow, if he can do that, maybe he can get this thing done, finish up top 10 or something. But it just physically wasn't able to do it. He just didn't have enough just yet. But I was talking to you before we went on today, and, we'll probably see him in the US Open. We'll probably see him in the PGA. So and maybe 1 or 2 other events, possibly, I don't know, but he'll have a couple more months to work on that leg and get it stronger, and he'll get some more reps in there. And by the time the Open Championship rolls around in St. Andrews, I mean, St. Andrews for him is like playing Augusta. He can play that place with his eyes closed, with a blindfold on. So we could really see some magic when we get to St. Andrews again. That's a real possibility. But just to make the cut, to finish the 72 holes, unbelievable stuff. One of the things I did notice, Carlos, that he's changed his swing quite a bit because he's not able to use his legs. I don't know if you noticed, but his shoulders, man, his upper body strength is off the charts. I don't know what he's bench pressing, but he is really strong. And his swing now is an upper body swing. And so if you noticed, when he got in trouble, he was pulling that driver. Because it's an upper body swing, he's got to time that release. And if he gets a little bit too quick with it, it's a pull and he doesn't get his fade. So that's his miss now, where before he'd spin his legs out, his lower body way too far, and it'd be a big push or a big slice way right, like 30 yards right. Now he gets down there, and if that he gets too quick, flips those hands over and he gets that big pull. So I don't know if you noticed that, but I was watching that, and I told you that I was really watching Tiger after about 13, because that's when fatigue sets in a golf round. And it really showed. It really showed every day. And then even on the weekend, you could just tell. I mean, you could see it in his face. You could see it in his demeanor. He was shot. He just couldn't do it anymore. So, but yeah, those are the kind of points I wanted to make, Carlos. He's going to play a little bit here and there for sure, unless something happened from this that he just decides he can't do it anymore. But he has the will to do it and the drive and the work ethic to get it done. So I think we're going to see him some more.
And can't wait. Hopefully he'll do it on his own terms. He doesn't owe anybody anything, and he can take his time. He doesn't have to be in the US Open. He doesn't have to be on the PGA Championship. He can wait, maybe play here and there once or twice in other tournaments, get ready for the Open. And I expect him to be a better condition back then. He knows now. I think this was also, let me see where I am. This is one of the worst places to walk. So if I can walk here, I can walk anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
So for him to do that, now he knows where he's at and what does he have to do to really get ready and play 72 holes in a major championship. So you wanted to say something before we move on?
Yeah, just a real quick point. He won the Masters in 2019. So that gives him 5-year exemption into the Open, the PGA, the Masters, all the majors. So so he's good for another 2 years yet after this on all these majors. So he doesn't have to worry about finishing top 10 or where he finishes in the FedEx Cup or in the world ranking and stuff, because he's in these things for the next 2 years, no matter what happens.
Yeah, I think this year is his year to, like he does in those first rounds, let me get a feel for where I am. And this is what he's doing. Maybe we'll see him more next year, depending on how everything goes. If he stays healthy, he finds exactly what he has to do. But the guy that didn't find what to do was Cameron Smith. And we talked about him. I expected him to do well. He's been playing incredible. I mean, Scottie Scheffler and Cameron Smith right now are the hottest two players in the world. They are the ones that you say they could be 1 and 2 the way that they're playing, and that's how they started playing. I mean, Cameron Smith that first round looked like he was going to run away from the field until 18th hit on Thursday. I mean, that double bogey really did him back to earth. He couldn't replicate anything of that. He started bad with a bogey right away on round 2. I mean, that front 9 with 3 over on Friday also started setting him back. And that's when Scottie Scheffler took over on Friday and basically looked like it was over. He was the only guy that had a shot at trying to get to him. He started 3 shots back. He quickly cut that to 1 shot after those back-to-back birdies. But then he did that bogey on 3rd, bogey on the 4th. Scottie Scheffler got that very much needed birdie on 3rd, which was an amazing shot. Still can't believe how he did it. But that basically set him out. After that, Cameron Smith couldn't recover. And of course, that horrific triple bogey in 12. But I think Cameron Smith is the guy that is the one that learned the most out of any other player in this Masters. He said it afterwards, hey, this is a course I love playing. He's played well, and he knows what he has to do. He just has to get it together to be able to win his first green jacket. And I can't imagine. I actually can expect him and Scottie Scheffler moving forward, seeing them on the top of the leaderboards, battling each other, and it would be a fun thing to watch. I do think Cameron Smith has a green jacket in his future.
And he's got nobody to blame but himself. You said it earlier. the two double bogeys, I'll say the one at number one and the double bogey on the 18th on Thursday. I mean, he had 8 birdies. Okay. And he only ends up 4 over because those two double bogeys. So that hurt him. And then he started out, did exactly what he needed to do on Sunday. Birdied 1, birdied 2, closed the gap. And when Scheffler went first on his second shot at number 3 and left it short, Smith had to get the ball up on the green. It didn't matter. He was trying to make it too good. He just had to get it on the green. Whether it was 15 feet past, it didn't matter. He just had to get it up there. And so when he left that short and that rolled back down, that was a tremendous mistake right there. Well, it turns out that Scheffler chips it in, and it's an unbelievable chip in. But Smith made a mistake, and then right away on number 4. Number 4 is one of the hardest par 4s in the world. It's unbelievable. I've stood on that tee and looked at that and tried to think, if I could hit it that far, what would I do? And I'm telling you, I would hit it left of the green and try to chip it on. I mean, trying to go on that green, especially when that pin's behind that bunker, I don't know. And he should have played to the left side of that green. That was a terrible mistake there. And so those two mistakes, and then, missing the shot at 12, I mean, everybody does that. So, you can almost say, okay, that's, that happens once in a while. We've seen a lot of guys do that, right? Tiger took a 10 there once. So,
And Spieth. That's how
yeah, exactly. Tom Weiskopf. We can go on and on and on. So everybody does it. It happens. But his mistakes at 3 and 4, those really hurt him. And the 2 double bogeys on Thursday, those killed him. But he played really well, and he hung in there, and he fought, and he battled. And he's a tremendous putter and a really good player. But he did make some mistakes on Sunday.
Yeah, he definitely did. But I think, like I said, he's the one that learned the most. He just still has to make sure he gets it together. And he's definitely has the skills to win. I mean, we saw him at the Players, and the way that he played here, he's there. He's reaching, and pretty soon. I mean, it's just not if he's going to win it, it's when he's going to win one of his majors. And how about Rory McIlroy? Rory McIlroy again, and we said it here. That's why you all listen to our previews, because we bring you everything wall to wall, and we tell you how things are going to happen, and that's what it is. We talked about Rory McIlroy's issues in the majors starting too far back, and it's not that he was that far back, but he's not starting off like he should, like he finishes. He was a 73. Yeah, he wasn't that far away. But at the same time, he wasn't closing out. So he's trying to close this gap. And when you have a player that, like Scottie Scheffler, that has just run away from the field, even though that magical 64, which was amazing. I mean, especially how he ended up there. I mean, the eagle in 13, and that amazing, impossible ship that he did to hold out on 18. I watched it again and again and again, because it was masterful.
You could stand there for a week and never do that again.
No, I dare anybody else to try to do it. That's how good it was. But he had the perfect round. Unfortunately, it was too late for him. 64, the lowest round of all the tournament, but too late for him again, and he couldn't get that losing Masters.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. But it was so much fun watching him play on Sunday. That's the Rory that we remember playing, right? Where has that guy been since before COVID, since 2019? That's the guy we were seeing play in 2019. And since we came back from COVID, he just hasn't been there. He hasn't played with flair. He did not seem like he's having any fun. It just, he's been flat. And he was into it. It was fun. He was grinding. It was good stuff. Beautiful iron shots, great driving. And so you talked about him making eagle on 13, playing with Collin Morikawa. Morikawa made eagle on 13, back to back. They come to 18. They're both in the bunker on the right side of the green. Rory holds him that tremendous. He hits it up the top of the hill and lets it roll down into the hole. Then Colin Morikawa is pin high. He goes straight at it, comes out running, hits a stick right in the hole. Back-to-back birdies from the bunker. You'll never see that ever again, ever. That was phenomenal stuff. They both played really well. I think together they were 13 or 14 under together, as a duo. That the rest of the field was over. Any other groups probably were over for the day. And so that was really good stuff. A lot of fun to watch Rory on Sunday.
So after all this who else caught your eye here in the match?
Well, one of the things is Colin Morikawa. I mentioned him. Of course, I love him. He jumped up to number 2. He jumped over Rahm for number 2. Rahm has fallen like a rock here all of a sudden. So I expect him to put some work in and get going here again. Justin Thomas, he was my guy. I had him picked for this thing all over the place. I was telling everybody he was going to win this thing. I do like what he's doing. He's playing the long game right now. He's trying to hit the right shot for the situation. He just didn't pull him off. He was off just a little bit all the time. When he pulled off the shot he was trying to do, it was really perfection, but just too much, so like out of 5 shots, he would hit 2 really good, 1 so-so, and the other 2 put him in a bad spot. So, but he's coming. He's going to get there. And I think as the season goes along, I think we're going to see Justin Thomas really do well. Jordan Spieth missing the cut, almost unacceptable. He is in a really bad place right now. His comeback has taken far too long. I thought he was getting there. He had some good finishes last year, but he's back to square one. And what he's trying to do on his practice swings, that does not look good to me. I'm sorry that, he's coming over and, doing this thing, and it just doesn't look good to me. Brooks Koepka, really surprising. I thought he was back healthy, ready to go. Really surprised he missed the cut there. DeChambeau, I think par for him is a little over 72. It's not really 68. I think par for him is about 78. So he's got to get a short game. Bryson DeChambeau's got get a lot better at chipping and putting if he thinks he's ever going to do well at Augusta National. So that's just some of the guys that I caught my eye, Carlos.
Yeah, JT's issue was, if there was somebody else worse putting than JT this week, it was Bryson.
Yeah,
he had a 2.282 putts per greens in regulation. That's not how you win here in Augusta.
No,
you're not going to win that way. He was driving fine, even though he was hitting only just 57% in driver accuracy. But in a place like this, it's okay. You can rebound for it. But if you're not putting well, that's what happened to Justin Thomas. But there's 3 guys that I mentioned as possible dark horses to look for, like Will Torres, who played really, really well. His problem, I think, was that on Saturday, that's 75. He was there, 71, 72, so he was close. He wasn't that far away. But that's 75. On Saturday, it was up and down. It was a lot of birdies, a lot of bogeys. So he just couldn't make it. His bogeys just outweighed that. But then that 67 also on Sunday, he played lights out as well to finish on a T6, where also Corey Connors, which is another player that I've been following and keeping until I see him finally win this one or a big one. I'm going to keep on him because he just keeps cashing in on those top 10s. Big tournaments, he's there. He was all across. He just couldn't get one around to be low enough to get to where he had to be. It was 70, 73, 72, and 70, and he just couldn't make it. But he was up and down also on Sunday with that 70. He just needs to get it together, get a couple of good rounds to get there, and try to see if he can finally win it. That's a guy also that it's not if, it's just when he's going to win. The disappointment of the tournament to me, besides the 3 that you mentioned, because I cannot believe how Brooks Koepka and Jordan Spieth, Bryson, we expected him to lose to miss a cut, but Brooks Koepka and Jordan Spieth at least should have made the cut. I don't care if they don't win. I don't care if they didn't make a top 10, but missed the cut. That was amazing to me. That mind blowing. But the other guy that I expected more about is John Ram. And that 77 on Saturday took him out. Yeah, he scored a 69, but that was just too far away. I mean, he didn't start well, 74 on Thursday, 72 on Friday, then that 77. He seems like, and that's the difference I see, because I was asked about this yesterday after Scottie won, but because, hey, you've been high on John Ram. What happened now that Scottie Scheffler and all this? Well, I've always said John Ram's between his ears. That's what he has to get together. Scottie Scheffler has that right now. If you say about Scottie Scheffler, yeah, he's not. There's a lot of better drivers out there. There's a lot of better iron players. There's very few that are going to be better scramblers, and a little few that are going to be better between their ears right now in the game. And that's what John Ram just doesn't get. He does get flustered and he goes over. He goes out. And that's what happened on round 3 for him. If he was going to have a chance, I mean, that double bogey in 17, that outdid him. That was it. On Friday, I expected more from him. And now he's just got to regroup. I mean, Colin Morikawa, like you mentioned already, leaped over him in the world rankings. Not only Scottie did it, but now Colin Morikawa. So he has to come back and say what he's going to do, because he reached that pinnacle, but then he stalled. And maybe like you were saying with him, I do think the expectations grew, and now he's feeling that. He's that type of player that needs to really get it together and calm down and see what he's going to do. But anyway, overall, Masters was what we expected, a great tournament, and can't wait for the next major, Fred.
Yeah, we should also give a shout out too to Minwoo Lee. What's that? Minji Lee's brother, right? He had a 30. He had a 30 on the front 9 on Sunday. He had it going. He didn't play that well in the back, but boy, he had it going on the front 9. It was a thing of beauty on Sunday. So yeah, good for him. But Carlos, it's the Masters. It never fails to disappoint. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. Wonderful, wonderful tournament. Congrats to Scottie Scheffler. I just never imagined he was going to be able to pull that off after the last couple months he's had. But boy, he's got it going on, and can't wait to see him play again.
Can't bet against him moving forward. I mean, we got to keep going. He's the man right now. But anyway, thank you for joining us. It's always our pleasure to bring you the latest in the world of golf news and information. Remember to subscribe to our channel so you can keep up to date with all the videos that we bring for you. The subscription is right there, the information on the bio. Thank you for joining us.